I found that I developed more as a person over the week. Like to start with, I wasn't as confident to begin with about speaking in front of groups of people. So I found that because we did a lot of that over the week, that definitely built my confidence up with that. And the fact that when we got there, we knew, apart from obviously ourselves, we knew no one from the other countries. So when they sort of chucked us in at the deep end and said, right, you've got to go in a group with one person from each other country, you can't have two of the same people from the country. That kind of, you kind of had to go with it, you had to speak to them and you had to make conversation, and you had to sort of become friends with them.
My biggest highlight was when we first met in our groups. And then I was the first to speak, and we began to discuss our whole lives. And we saw the contrasts and differences in each other, and that was really exciting.
Well, it was all kind of a highlight, the teamwork, and it's people that I've never met in my entire life working together. I really liked that. That was one thing I enjoyed.
I felt like the trip made me more confident, especially through an activity where we created our own business.
Now I'm back in England, I can talk in front of a whole class and be fine, instead of having to or if we had to do it in groups, I'd stand at the back and try not to talk or something. But now I'm fine with it, and I can talk to anyone.
I'm more confident. I'm more. It's easier for me to come out my shell now because I've met people that make it easy for me to come out my shell. I don't feel that they'd judge me or things like that.
When we went to the schools, I had to do with Grace, I had to do a maths lesson. So that was standing in front of all, I think now about 8 or 9. And you had to come up with your questions, and you had to ask each one of them. But we had to make up the questions and make sure that they understood what we were saying. So it wasn't just stand in front of people and speaking. You had to make sure that you were clear enough for a 7-year-old to understand you in a different language. So that was an experience, definitely.
Before I went, there was we were doing our options going into year 10 and 11, doing our GCSEs, and I still wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. When we went to the university, they have it's a very high-tech university. It was really interesting to see it, and it just made me think that that's sort of something I could do in the future, help develop things and make things.
I liked the business thing, what the Swedish did. It made me confident in when I'm older, so now that sort of inspired me to own my own business.
I picked business studies because of the influence of a day on the trip where we would make our own business, and it gave me an insight on how fun it could be, so that's why I picked it.
Throughout the whole trip, I think everyone that went on it got something out of it. I think we're all more confident with ourselves, and we can talk to more people. We've all become closer with people from different countries as well.